So this is my bee yard. I'll just kind of do a shot around, and then I'll go through and kind of explain the different hives. And you see a butterfly nut over there, and I'll explain that in a little bit. So this is what they call a Nagy Boconadi, a NB. So Nagy is large, Boconadi I'd have to look up again, I forget. Hungarian is a very difficult language, and it's even more difficult for me to remember words. Hungarian word for beehive is kaptar. So if you want to say honeybee hive, you would say mehechka kaptar. Mehechka is honeybee. So this one I actually split from my first hive that it was pretty much overflowing about a month ago, and they actually raised their own queen. You can see right now they're very busy cooling the hive because it's pretty warm out. So they're just fanning away, and they're pretty peaceful right now. If a week ago, before the queen hatched, if I would have been this close, they would have been all over me, pinging my head and everything else. So this is a 18 frame hive, and it's huge. They use these quite often out in the farms, on the pasture land for like the rapeseed and the black locust, and they are huge honey producers. So what they do is they have a partition in the middle, and I'll just pop it open real quick. I don't want to disturb them too much because I don't know if the queen is out flying mated. I don't know the status rate yet. So I have a feeder in here right now, and you can see there's 2 full frames that I pulled from my other hive, which is the equivalent of basically 4 frames of Langstroth, or close, not exactly. So there's a partition right here that you can put in, and that gives 7 frames on one side, and you can kind of lock the queen in there. Some people, they put partitions with queen excluder, and then these are just tops to keep the bees from going from one side to the other. And there's enough of a distance that if you put 2 queens in, one on each side, they might be able to smell each other, but they're not gonna go crazy. So yeah, so they're very peaceful bees compared to a week ago. So coming over here, this is a half Nagy Boconadi, a half NB. So the bottom here is 1, and then this would be a second. It could be, so the boxes are all the same. So the supers are the same as a brood box for these, and I basically just converted this to double nook based off of like Mike Palmer and some of the other big name beekeepers out there. So I'm trying different variations. So you'll see when I show you a couple, there will be some that have the this part sticking out right here, where it's split. Others I do it internally, and you can see these bees again. They just, is one that I just split both sides. This one actually, they're very, very peaceful right now because they have a queen, and most likely she made it, and you just saw some pollen go in there, and they're busy cooling the hive because the hot sun is beating down. Here's another one. My numbering, I'm still working on numbering, and I do that because I've got to keep track, because our goal is to be over 100 hives by the end of next year, even more hopefully. Hopefully we'll be over 200 with the Polonia. So this is my very first hive, this one with the number 12, and I'll actually do another video of opening that up so you can see how large the frames are. This is a Nagy Boconadi as well, but I don't know if they have a distinguishment between this and that one that's double the size with the, so they have 9, all these Hungarian Nagy Boconadis have 9 frames normally. So this guy, it has, I believe I have 3 frames in it now, 1 of brood, 2 of nectar, and it's probably close to being capped by now, I would imagine. And then of course we have Langstroths, and also this Nagy Boconadi. Those frames are the equivalent of this right here stacked. So a deep brood and a medium super, 1 frame stacked, but it's not as wide. It's just maybe an inch narrower. And the one on the left is queenless. I bumped into it about 2 weeks ago, and when I opened it up, they went crazy, so I should have known then, but I didn't. Then I opened it up a week ago, maybe, or a couple days ago, and no queen, no eggs. So they're actually making queen cells right now. And this one here is a split from that. So that was the mother, this is the daughter, and this one's doing really well. Right now it's like 10 a.m. It's very sunny out, so all the bees are out foraging. This is a two-frame nuke based off, I started doing, this is my first one, based on Dave at Barnyard Bees. I really enjoy his videos, very, very good videos for beginners. You know, I try to educate myself as much as possible, and I still do every day. So this red one here is a micro-mating styrofoam nuke. And you can see these, again, these bees are really peaceful. I don't like putting my hand on them, and you know, without gloves, I don't enjoy getting stung. Some people do. I wear a complete, at least a veil if I'm walking around the bee yard, or a suit if I'm out doing work on them. I do foundationless frames, so I don't use foundation in my frames, and I do not use smoke. So I don't like smoke in my eyes, and I suspect the bees don't like it as well. So these are all carniolans, and they're extremely hygienic. There's a lot of times where they will not allow bees in, and you'll see them kind of, it looks like they attack them, and they're actually just climbing on them, cleaning them, so whether there's mites on them or whatnot. If I open up a hive, and many people will bitch and complain that this is not right, but if I open a hive and I might see one bee in, I do hive inspections every week, so every Monday, and today of course is Monday, where there might be one bee that I might see a mite, and I will just pinch that bee and throw it off. It is extremely rare. I've never seen mite droppings. I used to put down the sticky paper on the bottom, and I tried the mite count with my first hive last year with the alcohol wash, and I didn't like it at all. I thought it was ridiculous. Some people, maybe they have inferior breeds, I don't know. I'm not gonna say for sure, but all I know is that these bees, I've never had issues. I've never had any illness. I did have one issue where I actually tried to do a split this February from a hive, and I tried one frame, and of course there were not enough nurse bees, and the foragers all flew off, and I lost most of the brood on that frame, and I was pretty saddened, but I lived and learned from that experience. But beyond that, so that basically what happened is the larvae all died, and I threw another frame in there of brood and larvae and food, and I ensured it had a ton of nurse bees on it, and they cleaned that frame out within a day or two. So I saw them basically just